Welcome back to the homestead. Today we're not outside, but instead we're gathered here at the table to discuss what we're planting for 2024 garden and also how we store our seeds. For our 2024 garden, we're actually going to be adding this year a herb garden and for our kitchen, and also a medicinal herb garden as well. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or I'm not someone that actually specializes in herbs for medicinal purposes, but I strongly believe in them and I've seen benefits, so that's why we're adding it to our garden this year. Starting out, I do want to talk about where we're getting our seeds, or the majority of our seeds. We get the majority of our seeds from Baker Creek, and they are heirloom seeds, non-GMO seeds. And I've mainly been getting their seeds for years now, and I haven't had any issues. I've had good germination rates, so I continue to purchase my seeds from them. I have gotten other seed packets, other seed companies, but I still go back to Baker Creek. And I do want to show you their catalog for this year. I love their catalogs. What I like is their pictures, and also in their catalog you can read about stories from the seeds, where they got them from, where they originated from, who saved them, things like that. And then they also have, I'm trying to find it for you really quick. Hold on, let me see. They have recipes in here. I mean, this one might not be a popular one, but this is braised celery. I think that's what I just said. I looked kind of briefly, but they have a recipe in there for that, if you can see it. Let me see if I can find a better one. Oh, here's one. Okay, this is carrot cake. So they have these recipes in here that you can look at, and tells you what carrots they're using and gives you recipes, stories. I just love it. I look forward to getting this every year to read the stories, because they change it every year. You're not reading the same thing about each plant every year. Plus, they also add new seeds every year. So you get to see what's new or what's popular, and you can really read the description of each seed that you're getting to see what fits your need. And the reviews online are great also, to see who's having great, who's growing it great in your zone. So I can't say enough good things about them. So that's where we're getting our seeds from, majority of them, almost 98% of them. So I do want to get started. I do have a list of where I wrote my seed list down to kind of go over what I'm doing this year, what's new, what's not. And then I'll get into the herbs, what we're doing, and then also our kitchen herbs, what we're doing for that. And then I'll get into how we store our seeds. So first I want to talk about is our broccoli and our cauliflower. This is the broccoli that we're doing this year. We've done this before also, and no problem with it. I just would definitely keep a bug net over it and make sure it's protected from wild bunnies. We've had some bunnies before. And then we're doing this purple of Sicily for our cauliflower, which I love to add color to our food. And I think it's just beautiful to look at and make food fun also for the kids. And then our beans. Let me see if I can find our beans here. I thought I grabbed them out. Hold on, I got to grab those. The type of bean we're using this year is the dragon tongue bean from Baker Creek. I can't say enough good things about this bean. It grows great for us. We do have a more clay type of soil, but it's germinated well and it also produces well. I have used other green beans from Baker Creek, but this one seems to thrive in our soil here where we're located, and we're in zone 6. So I can't say enough good things about this. It tastes great. It's pretty to look at. The picture is beautiful too. So I highly recommend these seeds. And for our potatoes, I don't have seeds for those yet, but we're going to be doing Yukon Golds, some sweet potatoes, and maybe some Kennebec this year. I'm kind of toying still what we're going to do with that, but we're not, or I just remember the sweet potatoes are Covington we're going to be looking at planting this year. And we do have a lot of greens that we're going to be planting. So let me show you what we're getting into this. I got a big old pile here. Give me just a second. I'll just go through it. Now this lettuce, this is Landis Winter. This is a new one for us this year. This actually has a very good frost tolerance, cold tolerance. So this is what we're growing this year. This is new to us. And they also, Baker Creek also will send you a free packet of seeds. So this is a free one that we got, and we might be trying this as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually one that will also be cold hardy, frost hardy. I have to double check it, but this is maybe. The butter crunch is one that we really like. We really like the flavor profile of it. It's a very sweet flavor. It grows well for us. So we're going to be doing that again this year. The Marlowe is another one we're going to be repeating this year. This grows great for us. And then we have two types of kale that we're growing, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. This is, okay. I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm not going to pronounce it. So I'm just going to show it. This kale done well for us. And also this Russian red Ragged Jack. We're also going to be doing this again this year. These two kales done great for us this year. More so, I think the Russian red done better. Justin would have to tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the Russian red did better. Yeah, this one did better than the other one. So we're going to be doing both of those again this year. The spinach, Giante de Inverno. They don't have a picture, but this spinach done well for us is also. And I think we're going to be also doing the arugula this year. Now this is not Baker Creek, I don't think. This is not Baker Creek. Okay, this is not Baker Creek, but we grabbed this to add last year, and we actually planted so much of the other stuff we didn't have room, so we're going to be looking at planting this year. And we tried the Rocky Top. I have this little bit left over. We tried the Rocky Top lettuce last year, and I think the year before also. Yes, for 2 years we've tried this, and it just doesn't do as well for us, so we're not doing that this year. Onions. I love onions. I love them in cooking with them. I make them with breakfast. I love the smell of cooking them. So we're going to be planting a lot of onions this year. We are going with, these are seeds I still have from when we planted them last year. And this is a Texas Early Grano and then a Yellow Sweet Spanish. I got two types of onions that I'm going to be growing. I'm going to get into carrots that we're doing. Now, since we do have clay soil, I wanted one that actually can still produce in clay soil and not have to do a different raised bed, which I still think I'm going to do to see how well it really does in the raised bed versus the clay. But this is a chutney type of carrot. I think I said that right. And this is for, this carrot is called New Coronda. And this carrot is a chutney type of carrot that will actually grow well in clay soil. So I'm going to be doing that and doing an experiment on which one does better for us. And we eat a lot of carrots too. So that's going to be what carrot we're using. Cabbage. Here is the cabbage we're doing. It looks, I don't know how to say that. So this is the cabbage we're using. We had good luck with this cabbage. We're using it again this year. And then our cucumbers that we're using, if you've seen a previous video, I talked about saving seeds and that we didn't have the cucumber that we went to go purchase is no longer there. So I had to get a different one. And that was a Chicago pickling cucumber. This is the one I used before and had great success with this. I don't know if Baker Creek is going to be bringing this back or not, but I had wonderful success with this. We really love these cucumbers. And then I went ahead and got Boston pickling cucumbers. We're going to be doing this again this year also, which they did well, but still something about these that I liked. But yeah, they're still good. So we're going to be doing those again. And what we're not doing this year, we're not doing beets this year. We grew them last year, hoping more so that our goats would like them. We would eat more of them, but we didn't. So I still have jars left over that I canned of beets. So we're scratching beets this year and not growing them. Get into corn. Corn, I do have a couple different types of corn. So for Baker Creek, the corn we got is Stowell's Evergreen. And this is an heirloom corn. We did also do the rainbow corn with them too. And they both grew well. You just, with heirloom seeds, you really got to watch when you get them because then they can turn into bitter and they're not sweet very long, which we can give you more details on that if you like. We can make another video on growing corn. So this is the corn we're going to be using also. And then we grew this last year. This is Peaches and Cream. Now this is definitely not Baker Creek. If I can find who this is. Oh, Earth Care Seeds right in front of my face. We grew this last year and it was okay. It was a really dry year for us, but I think we're going to maybe grow this again. Our plan is to grow some corn and also pumpkins in a different garden area this year. So this is kind of on the maybe the chopping block. I'm not sure. We didn't get as many. We didn't get hardly any ears on this, and they were shorter. They didn't grow as big or many ears as this. So I'm willing to try these again. A friend of mine had these, and I was curious on how they would do for us. So we might try them again just to kind of see as another trial run before we completely chop them off the block. But that's what we're going to be trying for corn. And then tomatoes. Everybody loves tomatoes. They love growing. They're like a staple for any home gardener to have. So I have, and tomatoes and peppers. We'll do those because they're in the same thing. So I have a lot here that I can go for. So this is new to us. This is a candied cherry that we're going to be, a cherry tomato that we're going to be growing this year. My aunt said the yellow orangish ones are really, really good. She grows some. She couldn't remember the name, so I'm going to try these to see how good they taste so we can just eat them off the vine just like candy, as their name says. This is another new one for us, is California Wonder. We're going to be doing these this year to see how well they grow for us. And this was actually a free seed. So we got this as a free seed last year. And then we got it as another free seed. Funny story. We planted these. These are really good. They grew well for us. They are a hot pepper. They're not a sweet pepper. They're hot. So I kept them away from the other to not have cross pollination. But we were going to grow these this year, but they sent us these as a free seed. So we're going to be growing another little side patch of these to hopefully make some hot pickles with these. So to go through the rest of the tomatoes that we have, we are going to be doing German pink again. And then this one's going to be new to us. This is a true black brandywine tomato. And we're going to be doing this for this year. Now I did do these peppers, the blot peppers. I really wanted them to work for us. They're beautiful. I think they're beautiful. I really wanted them to work, but I tried for a couple years and I don't know what I'm doing, but they didn't produce enough for us. They didn't really have a good, I just read on here, it says germination rate is 42%. So that's probably why, low germination rate. So we're not doing these again this year. And I do have some habanero peppers that we're growing again this year. I saved some seeds from them. We're doing those again this year. Now these are a sweet habanero. They're not a hot one. So we're going to be doing that. Oh, I just realized I put a pepper in there with the tomato section. So the last tomato that we do have is another cherry variety that we're doing. It's Sweetheart Cherry. So we're going to be doing these again along with the candy orange cherry tomatoes, wherever I place those. So going into peppers, I'm excited for peppers. I eat these as much as I do onions. So I'm really excited for our peppers this year. We are doing orange bell peppers. And then we're going to try the cayenne long thin peppers. Now while we're doing the cayenne, Justin and I eat cayenne pepper every day regularly on our food. It has good medicinal benefits. It's good, healthy for your body. It's good for your heart. And so we're going to be growing these, drying these out, and making our own cayenne pepper. This is why we have these. So I'm really excited to see how these go for us. Instead of buying the cayenne pepper grounded, we're going to be doing it ourselves. So I'm really looking forward to these to see how well they do for us. And I think that's it for that. So let's go ahead and move into the squash and zucchini maybe. All right, let's see. Let me move those out of the way here. I got seeds everywhere. So getting into the squash and zucchinis that we have, I don't think we're doing rutabagas this year. Yeah, I don't think so. I've talked to Justin. He wanted to try those, but I'm not sure we're going to do those this year, but we'll see. But what we are trying is this lemon squash this year. We're curious to see how well that does. And we have grown these before. This is the crookneck early golden summer squash. We have grown these and they've done well for us. We were covered up to our heads, I guess you could say, in zucchini, or not zucchini, of this crookneck squash. We had it just coming out of our ears. It was so much of it that it produced so well for us. So we're going to be doing that this year. And then we're going to be growing zucchini. I believe that's another staple of growers is zucchini. And we're going to be growing the butternut squash also. This done very well for us as well. We actually came back to the garden, and I think it was spring of last year. So we planted them for fall, obviously, for the butternut squash, and then we come back in spring, and it was already starting. Like we were getting a random butternut squash was growing where it shouldn't have been, but it was there, and so this was a fun one to grow. It kind of made me laugh because it was just coming back on its own, and so we're going to be growing that. Now I did try the gourds. I really wanted to try, or the loofah gourds. I really want to try those. We planted them. We might have not had them in a really good area, but I really want to try those. So we'll see if they make it into the garden this year or not. I think they're neat that you can make little loofahs with them. So for watermelons, we did save seeds from previous crop of planting watermelon from Baker Creek. I cannot remember their name of the one we did plant and did save. I did try to look it up, but I can't. They changed their picture. They update their pictures, and I can't remember what the name was. I should have wrote it down, but I do remember that the flesh of the watermelon was a deep hunter green, beautiful green color, and the meat of the watermelon was a reddish, like a deep reddish pink meat, and it was a very sweet watermelon. We had great germination, and it done well for us. We had a ton of watermelon that we was giving away. So I do have those seeds, and Justin wanted to try, well, we both wanted to try different watermelons again this year alongside those. So we are doing Moon and Stars, and then we are going to do Lemon Drop. This says it's candy sweet and crisp textured. So candy sweet and crisp textured watermelon. So I'm excited to see how these taste. So moving on to pumpkins. Pumpkins, I have a ton of seeds. So this is the one I did want to plant. I've planted before, and they're called the Cinderella pumpkins. So I will be planting these again, and they were sold out at Baker Creek, so I ended up buying this brand. I got dirt all over it from where I was planting the seeds, but this is David's seeds. I got these off of Amazon. They actually had good germination rate and done good. But what I do have is I have so we were blessed to get a lot of pumpkins for our goats. They love pumpkins. So like I said earlier, we're going to be doing a separate garden bed just for pumpkins and maybe corn for the goats. Corn not for the goats because we don't do grain, but for the pumpkins. So all the varieties, the orange varieties, I saved their seeds. So I have a ton of seeds of pumpkins. I can't tell you what they are. They're just your traditional pumpkin, that the orange ones that you see. And then I also got a blue pumpkin seeds for those too. So we're going to be planting these seeds for those. I'm sorry I don't have names, but I'd be more than happy to try to find pictures of them to kind of send you in the right direction if that's something you're interested in. So this year is really important to us to save seeds. As I said before, some of the seeds, they're either sold out or they don't have them anymore. So that's very important that we are saving seeds this year. So that's high on our list to do that, which what I like is I reuse these little packets. I reuse them for seeds I do save, or you can save them in a brown paper bag. Some people freeze them. So we're going to be saving seeds a lot this year. So I want to get into the kitchen herbs and the medicinal herbs that we have that we're growing this year. I did have a list to kind of go over what beneficial things that they say that they have. Let's see, we'll go through the kitchen one first. Basil, this is the basil we're using. Oops, sorry. This is the basil we're using, and it's good for inflammatory, cancer, and the heart, so they say. So we're going to be using this for the kitchen and for medicinal, obviously. Oregano, this is the oregano that we're using. This has a ton of benefits. When I looked online, a ton of benefits. It's just so much to even list. And we're using thyme. Now this is good for bacteria, fungal infections, antioxidant, and it's good for cough. And there's also some other things that I've seen that they had benefits for, but that's just to name a few. Now please look these up yourself on what you're using. Consult a doctor. I don't want to say this is good for this and then you're taking medicine and have some sort of reaction. Parsley. Now they said that this is good to help with blood to clot, bone health, heart, cancer, and diabetes. So this is a kitchen and medicinal. And we have sage. Sage has a ton also that's good for the benefits of it. And you may be wondering, what am I going to do with all these? I'm going to be making teas with these as well. I'm going to be drying them, making teas to drink. And then we're having rosemary. This one also had a ton of benefits with it as well. Dill also had a ton. And mint. There's a ton of mint that you can look at getting. But we are using mountain mint this year. And mint is good for menstrual, headaches, fever, cold and cough, and indigestion. To name a few for mint. Lemongrass. I love lemongrass because it helps with ticks. So we're going to be using lemongrass. And it also is good for cholesterol and heart disease. Stevia. We are using this. I want to try to do this to have a natural sweetener besides the honey that we use from our bees. Just to see how it goes. This is going to be new for us this year. And lemon balm. This is good for a sedative and calming agent. Lavender. This also has a lot of things that you can do for lavender. A ton of stuff. And I'm not sure, this is another type of mint, but it feels like we only have just a couple seeds in it, so I'm not sure we'll be doing that one. And that one. Okay, these are the ones I left behind. And I have some fennel that we're going to be growing too for our kitchen garden, but this is also for, I showed you that, but I don't have it on there. Hold on, let me turn it around. It's bronze fennel. This is good for inflammation, heart health, and it says anti-cancer on online. And then I wanted to get into some of the flowers that we're growing too. This echinacea, we're going to be growing that for medicinal and also because it's beautiful and for pollinators. And let me find, it is for nausea, vomiting, sore throat, skin rash, headache, and I think I wrote rash twice. So we're going to be growing that for our flowers. We're doing marshmallow. Marshmallow has a ton of benefits to it, so we're going to be growing that also. And another flower that is going to be dual purpose is our Mongolian giant sunflowers. We're going to be doing this year. We have planted these before a couple years ago, but a deer got a hold of them, and then last year we tried some different ones. If I can find them, here they are. So we've planted this sunflower. Had good luck with that sunflower. Hold on, I have a ton of flowers here. We planted this sunflower. This is a Monmouth Gray Striped sunflower. It's another big one. I'm not sure if it's as big as the Mongolian Giant, but we had good turnout with these sunflowers. And I actually did a dark sunflower again this year. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Okay, we planted these before, the Autumn Beauty sunflower. We had really good germination and luck with those. I do have a ton of zinnias that I have to plant, a ton of them. And I'll look through here and see if I can find the other sunflower, because we have dark ones. I thought I had some other dark ones. Maybe I misplaced them. Oh, they might be they're in this other container. So this is a snapdragon that we're doing. I really want to kind of get into the flowers a little bit more this year just to have my own bouquets and to gift to people. And let me show you the other sunflowers. I'll get into storage here in just a minute, but I do keep record of the seeds that I've tried, that I've liked, that I didn't like. So then I know when I go back through that if I want to try them again or not, or did I buy them already and I didn't like them. So I have, let me see. Oh, okay, so that was the one. That's the same one. Hold on. I thought it was a different picture, but it's actually the same one. So I did try these. They are an array of darker colors to this beautiful orange color. They can be almost like a chocolatey color too. It's like a mix of autumn colors. So I really like these also, just to kind of give a different look to the sunflowers that you have growing. But these, the Mongolian Giants, the seeds, we like to use the sunflower seeds for our chickens to grow them too. So in the topic of flowers, I also have marigolds and other little flowers like that I'm going to be planting. But I do want to talk about ground cover that we have. So we're doing yarrow for some ground cover is what we have. And we have some buckwheat. We do have milkweed that we might be planting over there by our bees. But we also have red clover, some crimson clover. And I have a couple of packets of the buckwheat. All right, so let's get into the fun part of how do you store the seeds. So let me show you how I do that. Let me close it up here. Now I got all these plants, all these seed things out, but I'm going to show you this. So this is what I keep my seeds in and how I keep them organized. This is actually a photo organizing container that I got from a hobby store. You can look there, or maybe a department store. I got mine from a hobby store, and it holds a bunch of little containers. Let me show you. So this is one of the containers that you have. It's probably like a good 4x6, maybe 5x7. I'm not really good with eyeballing measurements, but you can actually open them up and to organize your seeds a little bit better, so you can see, and you can just store them. You can categorize them however you want to. Right now mine are strung all over the table so I can show you the seeds, but I try to greens, how I'm planting them. Broccoli, cauliflower goes together, tomatoes and peppers go together. So that's how I store my seeds. I really love this because what I do is I organize them, but it also leaves a little gap to where I save some purple dead nettle, and I probably should have this in a brown bag, but that's okay. I can stick this down in the center in between those, and I store my garden list. So I store the information that I'm doing right on top, so everything's right there. I know what row is getting what, when, and the list that I have, I keep that all right on top in this compartment so I can pull it and see what I'm doing. And speaking of rotational grazing, rotational growing, I do recommend reading Elliot Coleman. This is one of the books that I have of him. I have a few of them. I think I have 3 total of him, but he goes in more detail on having rotational planting and how to do that and what goes where and why. He's a great man of knowledge. I do recommend this book. I really hope you enjoyed sitting down with me and really looking through the seeds that we're planting for 2024. I hope you were inspired to take some of the seeds that we're planting to plant yourself, to try, just to experiment, just to see how they grow, to have a little fun in the garden, and also maybe start a medicinal herb garden and a kitchen garden. I'm really excited about that this year. And hopefully the encouragement of your seed storage. If you do something different, let me know. I'm always up for more knowledge to grow, to be smarter on storing my seeds, if I could talk, and also just new innovative ways of doing things. And I think that's what we're all here for, is just to lift each other up, to come together, to see what works best for us and our farms. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. I hope you all have a blessed day. See you on the next one.